Can I just say that for my Five Nights at Freddy's 4 video, I don't think I made it clear enough how much I dislike this game. I love the FNAF franchise, don't get me wrong, it's just this game and its breathing audio. And, that will make it so much more clear here, because how in the world are you supposed to hear anything on an old, CRT TV using your N64 if this released back in, the late 90s, really early 2000s, right? FNAF 4 released, how are you supposed to hear that breathing audio? I mean, here, why don't we just sell some sort of TV accessory add-on? You plug it into one of the controller slots in the second slot, and there, it's a headphone, it's headphones. You can try and hear the crappy audio even better. Whatever. What's going on, guys? Evil Dragon here, and welcome back to Will It Retro. Today, the final video of 2025, can we see if Five Nights at Freddy's 4 can be put onto an N64 cartridge? But you know the drill at this point. Technologically, that field, that's not my expertise. My expertise is theory, because it's fun to just think of what can we take out of a game, in theory, to make it smaller, RAM and storage size and all that stuff. Again, I don't know the technological stuff behind it, but we just do this for fun. That's the whole point, not the technology side. And while I'm sure someone could probably make it work, we just do this for fun. But yeah, what could we take out? Well, first off, we got to look at, the basis of storage. 2-disc PS1 game with 1.4 gigabytes of space total that fit onto an N64 cartridge, Resident Evil 2, of course, the example we always use. And Five Nights at Freddy's 4 is around 500 megabytes of space. So in theory, it should be possible. But like always, we gotta cut some stuff out, and what are we cutting first? Well, the 5 nights are gonna stay the same, nights 1 through 5. Play the game normally, looking at, shut the door, look at the bed, shut the closet door, listen for breathing, play, all the audio, all that good stuff. For controls, there's no cameras this time, but because the way you usually hold a typical N64 controller for most games, left hand on the middle pawn, right hand on the right pawn, the way it's going to work is you use the joystick and the Z button to go to a door. That is typically how it works on consoles. You use L1 and the joystick to go to a certain door. So for this, it's just the Z button because your index finger on your left hand will probably be there. So yeah, left and Z button at the same time for left door, right and Z button at the same time for the right door, Z and up to go to the middle closet door, and then Z and back to go to the bed. To flash the light, it'll be the simple A button, and to close the door, it'll be the B button. Those are the only controls, that's all we need to know. But then we come into the first stuff I think we can cut out, and that is the mini-games. All the mini-games, all that stuff, it takes up a little bit of space there, I think. It's just unnecessary, and obviously we're putting the story games together. Sure, this is the fourth one, we want that story. So I think the only one we should keep is in fact the final one. After you beat the game, you beat all 5 nights. It goes 0 days to the party, and it shows the poor crying child being shoved up, lifted up into Fredbear's head. I think that will be fine. And again, all the nights would stay the same as well. I just want to preface that. So nights 1 through 4 are the same, then nights 5 is just Nightmare Fredbear. That would stay the exact same. But also, I think we should get rid of Fun with Plush Trap. It happens every single night. It's slightly different every single night with a little bit tougher AI for Plush Trap, and the timer's a little bit shortened. So we can just get rid of that altogether, and I'll explain why in a second, because we're actually going to have an extra menu this time, but again, more on that in a second. But yeah, nights 1 through 4 are the same. Nightmare Fredbear will work how he does. Again, he just appears there, and then we have the arcade minigame. The only one will be the Bite of 83 right at the end there. I think that makes sense. You just go all the way through the nights, and then when you're done, you do unlock the extra menu, and here's what it would entail. You go into the extra menu, and it would include these things. Fun with Plush Trap. Now that it is unlocked, it's kind of like that hidden minigame, kind of like you're playing Mario Party, and at the end of the game, you unlock certain things, and, maybe you buy some of the minigames, whatever. For this, you unlock Fun with Plush Trap, and now if you use Fun with Plush Trap to either go into a new game, you don't erase the whole data on the cartridge, you just go into a new game to start from night 1 again, or whatever. If you do Fun with Plush Trap each time, then you go ahead and unlock 2 hours if you win, right? But you can only do it once before each night. It'll then say locked afterwards, something kind of like this. But the other thing that would appear here is not night 6, but I think just straight up nightmare mode. There's not going to be a, night 8 of 2020 mode. Instead, it'll just be nightmare mode. And of course, nightmare mode entails nightmare spawning in. But instead, I don't think it should be nightmare, because again, different model, different character. He appears differently in all the doors and all the closets and whatnot. I think it should just be Nightmare Fredbear once again, who appears on this night, and it's the night that he will spawn after 4 a.m. And then finally, because this is FNAF 4, the supposed final chapter of the game, we would have a jump scares menu. No other game besides FNAF 3 had a jump scares menu up to this point, but if this was the final game, I think it's fitting that it has a little bit of that extra thing. Plus, there's not too many animatronics, only 5, so I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I guess if you want to count Plush Trap in here, 6 as well. But yeah, that would be my version of FNAF 4 and the N64. Just for a quick recap, again, nights 1 through 4 are the same, just Freddy, Foxy, Bonnie, Chica. Night 5 would just be Nightmare Fredbear, with afterwards, if you win, and you have the Bite of 83 minigame, extra menu unlocks, getting the, of course, Fun with Plush Trap minigame, the Nightmare mode, which is that final night, where hours 1 through 4 a.m. are just, again, Nightmare, Foxy, Bonnie, Freddy, and Chica, and hours 4 to 6 is the Nightmare Fredbear, and then you just have that jump scares menu. I guess another thing that would technically be able to be removed is all the Easter eggs, like the box, or the final cutscene of, I will put you back together, or the little Easter eggs of the flowers or the IV drip by the bedside. Those wouldn't really be needed. I think those are just extra space, and those can be taken out as well. Moving on, the controls, once again, Z and joystick for any direction would get it to the door or the bed or the closet or anything like that, with A being the flashlight and B being the closed door option. But yeah, that's FNAF 4 on the N64. Hope you guys did enjoy nonetheless for this episode of Wheel Retro. Maybe leave a like, maybe leave a nice comment down a little below, maybe hit that subscribe button, retain that little bell. Thank you all so much for an awesome year of 2025, and I hope for just a similar awesome one in 2026. Have a good day, everybody. Bye-bye.